They've so screwed up this country, they've looted it, they've destroyed it, that they need to figure out a way now to declare martial law, because the American people are not going to tolerate watching this continuation of these bailouts of these thieves and crooks. So what are they going to do? They say there's an emergency. You all need a flu shot. You remember, all Obama's really done so far is bail out the super rich and the super poor. If you're an executive at Goldman Sachs or you get food stamps, you're in good shape. Other than that, if you're in the middle, you get nothing. That's called Fabian socialism. Of course, Bush, of course, finished his reign of occupation with his act of Fabian socialism. When he bailed out the Bear Stearns and the Merrill Lynches and the Goldman Sachses. So we are basically at the mercy now of this criminal gang that needs to imprison the American people for the purpose of their own power trip, their own continuation of control and occupation. We are the threat now because we're asking questions. We're saying, why is this? Why is that? What happened here? What happened there? The media's been silent on all this crap for years. Now that people like you and myself, Stu, are getting on the air and explaining to people what happened in all these crazy events over the years, they can't handle that, can they?
They can't handle it because of the blogs, the so-called blogs out here, the alternative media. And folks, we report the facts and the truth. And what we report, you can also see on the news, because it hits the news at some point within days to weeks later. And then they try to cover it up.
That is correct. And they have they come up with this, Scooter Libby gets indicted for perjury. Well, where's the charge against the individual that's supposedly out of the CIA officer's name? There is no charge. Why? Because if he charged somebody for that, he'd have to charge Scooter Libby or Richard Armitage or Bush or Cheney. And then we get to the truth about how we got lied into the war. They can't deal with that. Fitzgerald's also covering up email evidence showing the bribery of the U.S. Supreme Court in the year 2000 election, Shatkin and Arms. That's not national security, folks. He's claiming it's national security. It ain't national security at all. So you see, that's a law firm in Chicago, by the way. They continue to do this type of activity. We go from one diversionary event to another. That's how the news media operates. They spent 1 week on the Michael Jackson thing. Why? That's a lot easier than to explain to you what happened to your money, isn't it?
And it's going to continue, folks, because we're coming into a point that they're coming to a head. They're broke. They don't have any money. So now, because the American people are speaking up, just like these town hall meetings, it's being discussed for 2 days all over the media, mainstream media, about how people are upset with the congressmen and senators in these so-called town hall meetings. They're pissed off about their pension funds being eluded by the same thieves that are the ones bailing out at the banks. The same ones that sold these artificial mortgages, the Bush-Clinton crime syndicate. And they're mad. Well, it comes to a point you quit being mad, and it's to a point that you get prepared. You have 1 month, ladies and gentlemen, to be prepared for a major epidemic that the Bush-Clinton, Obama crime syndicate is plotting and planning against the United States of America. It is a final overthrow to kill millions of people if necessary to stop this uprising where the people have said we've had enough of this theft and enough of these lies from these public officials. And now they're going to pull the ultimate number, they think, beyond what Oklahoma City was, beyond what 9/11 was. This is the ultimate, to imprison those and enslave those that are a threat to them, the American people.
That is correct, Stu. And you got to people remember, when it comes to the media, you can't trust one word out of them. Now, just look at these individuals. Chrissy Pugh Matthews, the alleged liberal. He's a British intelligence asset. James Warren, Chicago Tribune, British intelligence asset. Sean Hannity, Fox News, FBI informant. FBI informant.
Joe O'Reilly, CIA child molester in Panama, visited whorehouses in Panama, children whorehouses, bragged about his sex with 12 to 15-year-old girls, back in the late 1980s and
Bill
early
O'Reilly,
1990s.
that's right. Bill O'Reilly was originally hired by a New Jersey station, an ABC affiliate, through an operation called Operation Mockingbird. That was the CIA control of the U.S. media. It dovetails to Morgan Kondracki of Fox News, CIA asset. Originally hired by Don Rose of the Chicago Sun-Times, CIA asset. A mouthpiece to put out lies and cover up of the Warren Commission, a.k.a. the assassination of President Kennedy. You know, we're still being told to this day that President Kennedy was shot by a lone gunman in Dealey Plaza. That's all bullshit. The people don't believe it. Over half the American people don't believe in the 911 story anymore. They all know that's all bullshit. Now we know Fitzgerald's investigation is all bullshit. We know Starr was all bullshit. We know Obama's economic plan is all bullshit. The banks are still looting the country and trading our money on platforms in India, Pakistan, and North Korea. Clinton goes over there with his bag man to pay these people off, and what is it? How's the press cover it? Oh, he's a rock star. It's incredible, isn't it, Stu?
It is incredible. You know, and Tom, it's come to a day when they think they're going to pull this number with these UN troops. I don't know about the rest of you, but I'm locked and loaded. I'm getting more ammo. I'm getting more food, rations to be prepared for what they will do to the people. They will basically try to starve the people out.
Big cities
will be surrounded by UN troops. They think they'll move these troops in a very short period of time, 2 weeks, folks. I heard back in 1994 by people that formed militias in this country that swore, that they would protect this country, told me the day the UN troops go down in the streets of America, it is the end of what we know as America. They will make them either surrender or die on U.S. soil. They don't belong here, folks.
I refer tonight to the New Hampshire license plate, and it can only be, it says, live free or die. That is the orders I give to you, the American people listening to this broadcast tonight. We will live free or die. And we will not tolerate or accept. They say they're too big to fail, Stu. I say tonight, they are too corrupt to continue.
And I'm in agreement with that, Tom, 100%. And remember, folks, the Declaration of Independence. It was in Congress on July the 4th, 1776, a unanimous declaration of the 13 United States of America, but when a long train of abuse and usurpations pursuing inevitably the same object evinces a design to reduce them under absolute deposition, it is their right, it is their duty to throw off such government and to provide new guards for their future security. That is our right, folks, to take up arms if necessary and against government officials and to jail those officials and to replace those officials who do not do their job.
That is correct, Mr. Webb, and we will continue to speak the truth, to educate the American people. You folks listening tonight, we want you to call your friends, your relatives, get this broadcast out to everybody you can, because you need to know what happened in this country. You need to know what's coming in the future. And you need to prepare to defend your constitutional rights, your property, and in the words of our great forefathers, your sacred honor. And those that will enable this type of filth and this type of occupation, I say to you tonight, be gone. Leave. Get out. We don't need you. It's time to put aside these personal hang-ups people have with Republicans and Democrats. There ain't a difference, folks, between the two parties. They're both corrupt. They're both in bed together. And if a guy comes in either party or somebody comes in either party that may be semi-clean or not as corrupt as they are, they don't want them, do they, Stu?
No, they don't. They'll do everything they can to compromise it. Right.
Now, I can hear the interference on the phone right now, can't you?
I can. Chris, is that you? Is our